Hello everyone, this is Gamo Edits and welcome back to another tutorial. In this video, you will learn how to create an interactive and clickable presentation using the hyperlink function in Microsoft PowerPoint. We will also transform this presentation into an interactive online course with the help of iSpring Suite 11 and its amazing tools. So sit down, relax, and let's get started. I have prepared some slides about the hyperlink function in PowerPoint. We will transform this into an online course. But first, let's design our main dashboard slide. We have a roadmap guide designed for our presentation, and to design this better, let's get some help from the amazing iSpring Suite. iSpring Suite is a PowerPoint-based authoring tool produced by iSpring Solutions that allows users to create slide-based courses, quizzes, dialogue simulations, screencasts, and other interactive learning materials. They also offer a wide variety of content that you can integrate into your online courses. This suite will really help us in transforming our presentation into an amazing online course. Once you downloaded iSpring Suite, it will be automatically added to a PowerPoint as a ribbon. Now let's start. As you can see, they have a variety of tools automatically added to PowerPoint. Let's begin by adding icons. Here, you can see they have a lot of icons, so you can explore here the different icons that you can add into your online course. For example, let's search for an icon for location. So let's just search for location, and I think this is good. And let's double click that and it will be automatically added into our presentation. After that, we can customize that icon by changing its color and by adjusting its size. Now that we have adjusted the location icon size, we can copy it and create more of them. So I have created 8 location icons which will serve as pinpoints for the main key points or highlight of our course. Next, let's add a flag icon to mark the starting point of our course. So let's choose this one. So I will just adjust the size of this icon. I will also adjust the color and position of this icon. You can customize these icons from iSpring Suite just like those in PowerPoint, including their colors. So let's choose a color that will suit this one. And now let's position that into our starting point. Now let's copy the flag icon. So let's copy this flag icon and paste it and move it into our ending point. So we now have both a starting and an ending point for our course. Now let's add text to each icon for our online course. For the main highlights, we will add hyperlinks to each icon. So we will add a hyperlink for this flag, for this pinpoint location. And to do this, just click on the icon, right click and select link. Choose the place in this document and select the slide you want to navigate to when the icon is clicked. For example, we will link this icon to the second slide. So make sure to click the place in this document and click slide 2. And now for the next icon, we will link this icon to the third slide. So repeat this process for the remaining icons. For instance, link the next icon to the slide number 4, which covers the uses of hyperlink. And continue this process until all icons are linked appropriately. Make sure the icons are hyperlinked properly so they will function accurately and not cause any issues later on. As you can see, we have set up hyperlinks for the icons. Now moving on to the second slide, I have prepared an arrow icon to serve as our back button. We will hyperlink this to slide number 1 so that whenever it is clicked, it will return to our dashboard. So we will just copy and paste this back button onto the succeeding slides so that they all have it. Now that we have set up the icons, let's go back to the first slide. So let's click on the first slide again. So the first slide, and then click on Transitions tab and choose the zoom. And then we will set the effect option to zoom out with a duration of 0.9 seconds. So next is to select the slide 2 to slide number 10 and apply the zoom transition as well, but this time the effect option is zoom in with the same duration of 0.9 seconds. Now let's preview the tutorial so far. So whenever I click an icon, for example this icon, it will navigate to that slide that represents that, and clicking the back button will return to the main dashboard slide. So this setup creates a very interactive PowerPoint presentation which you can also integrate into your online course. Now that we have finalized the design of our presentation for the online course, let's now improve the content. For example, on the introduction slide, I have added a character which is basically from iSpring's character builder. So they have here a character builder. They offer a variety of characters to choose from. And as you can see, there are a lot of characters here, but my favorite is Tim, who has a different poses and emotion to match the content of the presentation. So let's add this Tim to the slide, and you can add more characters as needed. We can also create a character from scratch. To start, click on the character, and then let's click on the custom characters here, and click on create character. After that, you can choose your character, for example, this beautiful lady here. Next, we will click on appearance to change the style of the character, including her skin color. We can also change the hairstyle by going to the head tab and then select the hairstyle and change the hair color as well. Additionally, we can modify the facial structure and features of our character. We can also choose clothes for our character as well, including tops, bottoms, or even a one-piece outfits. Customization options also include changing her shoes as well as adding accessories like glasses. What I like about this feature is that we can also save the character. For example, let's give it a name, and it will be stored in different poses. This allows us to choose the appropriate pose depending on the content of our slide. Once saved, we can add that character into our slide. So let's click on that and then choose a pose, for example, and then click add to slide. This is a very efficient way to create a custom character from scratch, but for the meantime, let's remove this character and maybe use it later. Now moving on to the next slide for the sound effects in the trivia presentation. Let's enhance it by transforming it into a roleplay scenario. To do this, go to the iSpring ribbon and click on Roleplay, and then click on New Roleplay. Here you can set up the scenario. Click on New Scene, add your message script, and then you can select a character who will speak. For example, let's choose this. And you can choose their emotions starting with a happy emotion, and you can also apply background as needed. So let's choose this one. Now once you set this up, you can add another script or another reply. So let's just paste the reply here. We can also add a voiceover for this roleplay scenario. To do that, just click on the voiceover, and to add a voice, you can either import an audio file or use the iSpring's text-to-speech option, which is a very useful tool. The text will be automatically converted into voice, and you can choose a different voice here, a natural voice, for example, of Bob. So here's the preview.
Did you know that text and objects are customizable for hyperlinks? You can create hyperlinks using text, images, shapes, or any other object in your presentation. And if it sounds
good for you, insert it into the scenario. Now we can repeat the process for the reply using the text-to-speech option again if desired. Now let's insert, and let's try a different voice, for example. So let's try the voice of Ethan. So let's click that. Here's the preview.
Did you know that hyperlinks facilitate navigation?
And now we can click this preview button here to see the final preview.
Did you know that text and objects are customizable for hyperlinks? You can create hyperlinks using text, images, shapes, or any other object in your presentation.
Did you know that hyperlinks facilitate navigation? They make it easy to navigate through complex presentations or connect to additional online resources.
If you are satisfied with the setup, just return to the presentation and just close this one and click the Save and Return to Course to integrate the roleplay into our presentation. The design might look different, but don't worry, this is just a thumbnail. Once we publish it, the presentation will look great. Now moving on to the next slide for the steps. So this is kinda hard to read and kinda disorganized. So we can improve this by making this interactive. So let's add an interaction tool under the iSpring suite. So let's click this and let's click this new interaction. So you can choose interaction type such as the steps, timeline, and there are a lot of templates for you to choose from. But for this tutorial, let's stick with the steps. So as you can see here, you can add the steps based on your steps, of course. So let's click on this introduction. So let's add an introduction slide for these steps. So let's just paste the text here and let's add a title. For example, steps for hyperlink in PowerPoint. And then we can click here and add a character, for example. So let's add my favorite character here, Kim. And let's choose this post and add to slide. And then next, we can now go to the steps. Click on the step 1 and then paste the step. Perfect. Now we can also add a picture here to support the step and make it easier to understand. So let's add this picture. For the step 2, let's paste the step and let's add another picture that will support this step. And now for the third step, let's add here. So let's paste and let's add another picture for the step 3 so that it will be easier for our student to understand the course. Now for the step number 4, we will just add another step here and then paste the step and let's add another picture. Perfect. Now we can also edit the settings for the theme. So let's change the color scheme. So let's try this violet and black theme. So let's apply that. And here is the preview for this. As you can see, the steps for the Hyperlink PowerPoint are more organized compared to what we had earlier. It has become interactive, allowing you to click on the steps and go back to them if needed. Just like before, we save and integrate these into our presentation slide. Now moving on to the next slide. For the tutorial slide, we can actually add a YouTube video under the iSpring suite. So just click this YouTube and then paste the link. For example, I will add here another tutorial from my YouTube channel. So let's integrate this here. So let's click OK and just wait for it. And as you can see, we can adjust this, the size of this. So this is the thumbnail of the video. But once we publish this, it will become a video, or we can click on that later on. Now for the examples, we can actually add another here. So let's add here my official website or my shop for my PowerPoint templates. So let's try to add this here. And as you can see, here is my website for my PowerPoint. So let's click OK. And that website will be added into the presentation course. Don't worry about the look. Once we publish that later, it will look nice. And now, let's see the preview for this. So let's click the preview here and observe what we have so far for this tutorial. So here is that. So once I click on the example, here is my official website. As I said earlier, the look will be different once we publish this online course later on. So here is the official website of BMO Edits and I integrated it into my online course. Now moving on to the next step. We can also add a quiz to our presentation with the help of iSpring Suite. Just click on iSpring Suite and select the quiz option. Then click on the graded quiz to start. And as you can see, here's the interface which looks similar with PowerPoint. To begin, click on the question. and you will see here the different types of question they offer. They offer 14 types in total. You can try different types or different forms of questions here. Now let's try some of them, starting with the most common one, the multiple choice. Here we can add the question. So let me paste the question here. And of course, you must add the choices. Now let's add 3 wrong answers and 1 correct answer for the choices. And don't forget to select the correct answer, which in this case is the correct one. What I appreciate about iSpring is that it also catches the spelling and grammar errors and suggests corrections for that. We can also add feedback and branching based on whether the student gets the answer correct or wrong. You can also assign points or adjust the scoring and slide settings for the question type. You can also add a time limit for the question. Now, let's add some more questions. This time, let's try another form of question, the true or false question. So let's click that. Now I will add a statement here and mark the answer as a false statement. So I will click the false statement. I will also include the feedback and change the score to 5 points. Next, let's try the sequencing question, where students have to rearrange the steps in the correct order for doing the hyperlink function. So here, I will ask them to rearrange the correct order to do the hyperlink function. So I will paste the correct order here. Make sure that they are properly ordered. Don't worry, iSpring will shuffle this later for the students to rearrange. Make sure that this is the correct order. Now, we can actually adjust the score for this question. I want this to be worth 15 points since this one is harder than the other questions. Now we can also try another question form. Let's try the hotspot question, where students identify a spot in a picture. Now let's add here the question, for example. So here is the question. If you want to add hyperlink, what will you click? So let's add here a picture. So let's add a picture here. This one, the hotspot, and then select the answer. So let's choose this rectangular area and then select the area on which the student have to click in order for them to gain the points. So let's add that. We can also add a picture. For example, in the multiple choice question, let's add a picture. So let's try to add this picture, and that's perfect. The student will see that picture later on once we publish it. We can also adjust the properties and settings, like renaming the quiz title, editing the slide size, and adding a time limit. We can also set the passing score for this one. For example, we can adjust the passing score into like 70%. And other settings can also be edited here. So now, here is the preview of the quiz. So let's try to answer this multiple choice question and submit it. So let's choose this answer. So you will see the feedback and score once you submit the question. This feature is really nice, thanks to iSpring. We can also arrange the question since this is a sequencing question. And as you can see, the hotspot question is really engaging as well. And now we can view the result. I did not pass the exam, so better luck next time. Now let's save this and integrate it into our PowerPoint presentation. Since we have completed our presentation, we can now publish this as an online course. Simply click on the publish button and then we can directly save it on our computer. We can save it as HTML5 or a video, and we can also edit some settings here. Alternatively, you can save it to the iSpring Cloud or any learning management system you use, such as iSpring Learn or from your university. You can also export it to YouTube. But for the meantime, let's choose to export it as an HTML file on my computer. Now, my course is ready, so let's view it. Here it is. So you can see that the PowerPoint animations are still intact and the course remains clickable and
Did
interactive.
you know that text and objects are customizable for hyperlinks?
The roleplay scenarios
create
are also there,
hyperlinks
which is
using
nice.
text,
I really
images,
appreciate this
shapes, or
feature
any
because
other
it allows
object in
me
your
to share this
presentation.
online course with others.
Did you know that hyperlinks facilitate navigation? They make it easy to navigate through complex presentations or connect to additional online resources.
The best part is that I can also share this on my iSpring Learn, the official LMS of iSpring, and to other learning management system as well, reaching even more people. So here is the steps or the interactive steps we have made earlier. Here's also the embedded YouTube tutorial.
Hello everyone, this is Gamo Edits,
which
and
is
welcome
also
back again
present
for
in my
another
online
PowerPoint
course.
tutorial video. Today you will learn how to use the
And you
hyperlink
can also
function of
navigate through the slide using the back button and access the main page by doing that. And now here's my official website embedded in my online course. The slide zoom and hyperlinks are still functional. Now let's try to take the quiz again. So let's click the quiz here. And let's try to choose the best answer. For this, let's click this and then submit. As you can see, it's a correct answer. Let's try to click the false and another correct answer. For this, we have to rearrange this since this is a sequencing question and it's an incorrect answer. And lastly, the hotspot question, which is very interactive. So that's essentially how iSpring works. It's a fantastic tool with many features such as the text-to-voice, which adds value especially when working with videos. They also offer a video editor for you to explore. If you want to try iSpring, check the description box for more information and give it a try. iSpring is a valuable asset for creating online courses, offering personal cloud storage, 24/7 support, and an extensive library of content to enhance your presentation and courses. If you have some questions, clarifications, or suggestions, just comment down below. Again, this is Gamo Edits and thank you for watching.